Hello, this is Mr. Mullo for 1-6, Order of Operations. It should be a reviewed lesson, but it's still a very important lesson, because if we don't know how to do order of operations, algebra and pretty much any math in general is impossible, so we have to make sure that we're pretty confident on order of operations. Alright, so order of operations is basically the rule on how we're going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide numbers. And there's a couple different ways to remember it. Probably most popular is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which stands for parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, or subtract. Okay, so pretty much first we perform the operations inside the parentheses or brackets, then we kind of evaluate the powers, so like those exponents, and then we will perform multiplication or division left to right. So kind of an important part there. So even though the M comes before D, if there's a division problem on the left-hand side, we're still going to be doing that first. So they're kind of equal. Same thing with addition and subtraction. We're going to do it left to right. So even if there's a subtraction problem on the left side before the addition problem, we're still going to be doing that subtraction problem first because they're kind of equal on the same scale. Alright, so here I have 15 minus 2 times 3 plus 1. Okay, so if we're looking at PEMDAS, we're going to see M comes first. So we have that 2 times 3 first. So I'm going to get 6. So I have 15 minus 6 plus 1. Okay, and even though the A in PEMDAS comes first, I'm still going to work left to right here. So 15 minus 6 is 9. And 9 plus 1 is going to give me 10. Alright, usually if you get a decimal or something, that means something went wrong. Like if we did something here, we're doing division first. So I have 10 minus 2, or 10 divided by 2 is 5. If I ended up getting a decimal where they wanted me to divide, 13 by 2, that's probably a good sign that we had a mistake somewhere. So just be aware that, especially with those division problems, that we should be getting whole number answers. There's not going to be a whole lot of decimals here. And then after I divide that by 2, I end up with 5. So now I have 12 minus 32 plus 5. Again, going left to right now, so I end up with a negative 20 plus 5, which is going to give me a negative 15. Alright. So kind of working back to what we did a couple sections ago, 12 minus 32 is going to give me a negative 20. Doesn't matter if there are decimals involved, they all mean the same thing. So you would still go about doing this problem the same exact way, but let's look at this problem with the brackets. So brackets and parentheses are kind of the same thing. You'll see the brackets are kind of not rounded like the parentheses. But we still should do the parentheses first. So I have a 4 plus 1 first, which is going to give me 5. I'm still going to keep those parentheses there. And then that times negative 2. Remember, parentheses mean multiply. So I have negative 20 divided by bracket negative 2 times 5. Which is going to give me a negative 10. So now I have negative 20 divided by negative 10. Now I can get rid of those brackets and parentheses and just do negative 20 divided by negative 10, which I have 2 negatives. So it's going to give me a positive 2. Sometimes we'll have problems like this where they give us what x is. It doesn't matter. We're still solving the same way. So 10 minus x is 3 times 6. Same rules still apply. I have to do 3 times 6 first. So it's going to end up being 10 minus 18, which is going to give us a negative 8. So fraction bars, radical symbols, absolute value symbols can also be used as grouping symbol. And then remember that fraction bars just mean divide. So we still treat it the same way. So we're going to do anything that counts in that order of operations. So here I would do my multiplication first on the top. So I'd end up with -8 plus 22, which is going to give me a +14. And then 42 minus 9 is going to give me 33. And I can't simplify that, so I'm just going to keep it as 14 over 33. So what I just said when I read that big long thing, so here we go. Absolute value bars go first. Okay, but still within the absolute value bars are still in order. So 8 divided by 2 would go first. And this is where it gets a little then confusing, because think of these like parentheses almost. So even though there's multiplication out here, I would still need to add that 42 plus 4 before I can multiply, since they're still really in parentheses. So 42 plus 4 is going to be 46. And then I need to multiply by 3 here. And then 46 times 3 is going to give me 138. So that's going to be my final answer. Remember, if you do these in a different order, you're not going to get the same answer. So if you're correcting the paper and get a different answer, that means something went wrong with the order. There's only one correct way to do these, so we need to make sure that when we're correcting these, we all have the same answer.